Welcome to the channel where small change leads to big discoveries and every coin has a story worth millions, and today we unravel one of the most mind-blowing tales in the world of coin collecting, a story that's equal parts history, mystery, and monetary legend centered around the elusive 1986p quarter-dollar coin. A seemingly ordinary piece of circulating currency that has been reported to reach a jaw-dropping estimated value of $49 million because of a fascinating cocktail of minting errors, historical anomalies, and collector-driven demand that has turned it into one of the most coveted coins in United States numismatic history. And while millions of quarter dollars were struck in Philadelphia in 1986 as part of the Washington Quarter Series, only a minute handful are believed to exhibit a specific combination of rare and valuable features that separate them from the rest. And these rare traits include extreme double-die obverse errors, off-center strikes, broad strikes, clip planchets, transitional metal compositions, misaligned dies, struck-through grease errors, missing clad layers, reverse design anomalies, die adjustment strikes, rotated dies, partial collar strikes, and repunched mint marks, each of which on their own can increase a coin's value dramatically, but when found in combination on a single specimen, especially in pristine uncirculated condition, can multiply its value exponentially into the millions. And what makes the 1986p quarter even more fascinating is that the Philadelphia Mint at the time was undergoing technological and procedural transitions involving new die manufacturing and quality control systems, and it is speculated that in this period of adjustment, multiple rare errors slipped through the production line unnoticed, creating a perfect storm of valuable mistakes that have captivated the attention of collectors and investors worldwide. And the most valuable of these errors is the extremely rare double-die obverse, where the inscriptions "Liberty, in God We Trust," and the date 1986 appear clearly double to the naked eye due to die misalignment during hubbing, an error that produces dramatic visual effects and is highly prized among experts, and in some cases, this doubling is accompanied by a repunched P mint mark, further elevating its rarity. And while this alone would make any coin desirable, certain 1986p quarters were also discovered with reverse side errors including weak strikes, ghost images, missing design elements, and rotated dies where the reverse side is not properly aligned with the obverse, resulting in orientation anomalies that are as rare as they are valuable. And then there are the transitional errors, which occur when coins are struck on planchets intended for different years or denominations, and reports have surfaced of 1986p quarters being struck on thinner planchets closer in weight to dimes, suggesting possible leftover blanks from earlier production runs. And in even more extraordinary cases, these quarters have been discovered with one or both clad layers missing, exposing the inner copper core, an error that not only makes the coin visually striking but also indicates serious breakdowns in the minting process, making such pieces exceptionally rare and valuable. And these coins become especially treasured when they are found in mint state condition or higher, graded MS67 or above by top certification services like PCGS or NGC, which further restricts the population and boosts value. And in rare instances where these features are all present, double die, misaligned die, off-metal planchet, missing clad layer, and mint state preservation, the value has been estimated to skyrocket to $49 million, driven by extreme scarcity, market speculation, and collector obsession. And the buzz around these coins has only grown over the years as more examples surface in unlikely places, discovered by average people digging through pocket change. Inherited coin collections, or old piggy banks, sparking a modern-day gold rush as hopeful numismatists and enthusiasts examine every 1986p quarter they find with magnifying glasses, calipers, and scales, looking for signs that they may be holding one of the most valuable coins ever accidentally minted. And with social media fueling the frenzy through viral posts, auction results, and expert breakdowns of coin features, the legend of the 1986p quarter continues to grow. And it's not just the errors themselves that drive value but also the mystery surrounding their origins, with theories ranging from intentional test strikes by mint employees to unreported die swaps and experimental compositions, some of which may never be fully documented, adding to the coin's mystique and speculative value. And high-profile private sales and sealed bid auctions have only added fuel to the fire, with a small number of collectors rumored to have paid multi-million-dollar sums for confirmed specimens of these rare coins, sometimes in unmarked briefcases or through confidential brokerage firms that handle high-value collectibles for billionaires and institutional investors. And with each verified discovery, the market adjusts, demand increases, and the few remaining specimens become even more valuable. and this creates a positive feedback loop where interest drives value and value drives further interest, creating a vortex of attention around a coin that most people wouldn't give a second glance, and yet here it stands, the 1986p quarter, a numismatic unicorn born of human error, mechanical misfortune, and historical happenstance, representing the very best kind of collectible, a rare item born out of unpredictability and preserved through chance, and for collectors, finding one of these coins is the ultimate achievement, a dream that combines luck, skill, knowledge, and persistence. And for newcomers to the hobby, it's the perfect introduction to the thrill of the hunt, because anyone, anywhere, could stumble upon a forgotten coin in a junk drawer or coin roll and discover it's worth millions, and so the question becomes not whether these coins exist, they do, but whether you've taken the time to look closely enough to find one, because among the billions of coins minted, there are always outliers, always miracles of misproduction that turn small metal discs into global treasures. And the 1986p $2 coin with its staggering $49 million estimated value is proof that history, rarity, and the human fascination with perfection through imperfection will always command attention and reward. And if you're intrigued by this story and eager to explore more astonishing tales from the world of coins, where pennies, nickels, dimes, and quarters become keys to unimaginable wealth and adventure, then be sure to like, subscribe, and stay connected with us as we continue uncovering the hidden fortunes waiting to be found in the palm of your hand. Next! Today, we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating and rare coin stories in American numismatic history, a coin that has stirred curiosity, sparked debates, and commanded attention in auctions and private collections alike, the 1980p Washington Quarter, a seemingly ordinary 25-cent piece that, due to its astonishing array of mint errors and production anomalies, has been estimated in select cases to be worth as much as $51 million. Yes, you heard that right, a staggering $51 million, and as unbelievable as it may sound, the facts, rarity, and interest surrounding this coin have made it one of the most talked about and sought after specimens in the modern era of coin collecting, and we're going to explore exactly why. So let's go back to the beginning, the year 1980. When the Philadelphia Mint was under pressure to meet rising demands for coin circulation amidst rapid economic shifts and increasing coin usage in the everyday marketplace, which led to heightened production volumes and, subsequently, a higher likelihood of oversight and production errors, and it is within this context that the legendary 1980p quarter was born, an innocent-looking quarter that holds within its metallic core a series of mistakes, misstrikes, and mysteries that would eventually catapult it from pocket change to multi-million-dollar treasure. Beginning with the most obvious and immediately striking anomaly, double die obverses and reverses, where the image of George Washington on the front and the eagle on the reverse show noticeable doubling, particularly around the date, the word liberty, and the motto "In God We Trust," along with the United States of America inscription and the denomination $quarter on the back, which are all telltale signs of a double die strike, an error that occurs during the hubbing process when a die receives more than one misaligned impression from the hub, creating a shadow-like duplication of the design elements and giving the coin a distinct, eye-catching appearance that experienced collectors and graders immediately recognize as a rare and valuable minting flaw. But this is just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to the 1980p quarter, because some specimens were discovered with off-center strikes ranging from 5% to as much as 30%, dramatically displacing the coin's design and making each misalignment a unique fingerprint that adds to the coin's desirability and collectible status. Especially when the date remains visible, as it confirms the coin's identity and increases its appeal, and if that wasn't enough, several examples have surfaced showing broad strikes, a condition where the coin is struck without the retaining collar that gives it its standard diameter and edge reading, resulting in a wider, flatter coin with a smooth edge, further distinguishing it from standard issues and boosting its rarity rating among numismatists, and the story gets even more compelling, with instances of die clashes, where the obverse and reverse dies strike each other without a planchette in between, leaving behind ghost-like impressions of the opposing design elements on each side of the coin, a phenomenon that when visible on a 1980p quarter creates an eerie overlay of Washington's profile and the eagle's wings or talons that enhances both the mystery and the desirability of the coin. And then there are the planchette errors, including coins struck on the wrong metal composition or planches intended for other denominations entirely, such as nickels or dimes, leading to weight discrepancies and visible size mismatches, and these errors, although rare, have been confirmed through metallurgical analysis and precise digital weighing by experts and grading agencies, further proving that some 1980p quarters slipped through the cracks of quality control and ended up being hybrid errors, which are among the most coveted in the coin collecting world, especially when verified by PCGS or NGC with mint state grades. And speaking of grades, condition is everything in numismatics, and the most valuable known specimens of the 1980p quarter are those graded MS67 and higher, with deep, uncirculated luster, razor-sharp details, and full strike integrity, sometimes accompanied by rare toning patterns caused by storage conditions or chemical reactions, giving the coin an iridescent glow that enhances visual appeal and adds to its auction value. But what truly pushes the 1980p quarter into the stratosphere of value is the combination of multiple errors on a single coin, such as a double die obverse combined with an off-center strike and a clipped planchette, a trifecta of mistakes that transforms an already rare piece into a one-of-a-kind anomaly worth millions, and with only a handful of such specimens known to exist and most tucked away in private collections or museum displays, the competition to acquire or even see one in person has intensified over the years, leading to record-breaking sales and astronomical estimates that have pushed this humble quarter's perceived value up to the now legendary figure of $51 million. And while skeptics might question how a coin with a face value of 25 cents could reach such heights, the answer lies in the principles of supply and demand, historical significance, rarity, and collector passion, all converging around this specific coin that perfectly captures the chaotic precision of minting operations, the unpredictable beauty of human error, and the enduring fascination people have with hidden treasures hiding in plain sight. And it's not just about the mint errors alone, but also about the historical context, the shift in metal compositions leading up to and during the 1980s, the economic backdrop of inflation, and the renewed interest in coin collecting spurred by popular media and investment trends, all of which created the perfect storm for the 1980p quarter to rise as a symbol of value born out of imperfection. And while the vast majority of these coins remain common and circulate without fanfare, the few that carry the unmistakable signs of multiple minting errors continue to surface in estate sales, coin shows, and online auctions, often misidentified or underestimated until a trained eye spots the clues, prompting a reappraisal and sometimes a life-changing discovery for the owner. And stories abound of lucky individuals finding one in pocket change or inherited coin jars, only to later realize they hold a piece of American minting folklore worth more than luxury cars, mansions, or yachts, making the search for a 1980p era quarter an exciting pursuit that blends historical intrigue with financial potential. And as technology improves, with AI-based detection tools and high-resolution magnification apps becoming more accessible, even casual hobbyists are joining the hunt, scouring coin rolls, thrift store donations, and flea markets for that elusive, mistruck marvel. And while most will never hold a multi-million-dollar coin in their hands, the dream persists, fueled by real-world sales and headlines that confirm these coins do indeed exist and change lives. And at the center of it all is the 1980p Washington quarter, a coin whose legacy was forged not in perfection, but in flaws, a testament to the human touch behind the machines, the occasional lapse that yields extraordinary results, and the powerful market that assigns massive value to rarity and error. So next time you receive change or clean out a drawer, take a closer look, because you never know if that quarter you almost dismissed is actually a priceless artifact of minting history. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into the world of coin collecting and the astounding story behind the 1980p quarter's $51 million legacy, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel for more stories like this, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update on the next big coin that could be hiding right under your nose. Today's episode uncovers one such jaw-dropping discovery that could change the way you look at your coins forever, a seemingly ordinary 1997 AD $2 coin, minted in Denver, which has stunned the numismatic world by being valued at a staggering $36 million, not because of gold or rare metals, but due to the fascinating story of its minting errors, historical context, scarcity, and collector obsession that transformed it into a treasure worth more than a mansion. And if you're holding on to change right now, you might want to check it carefully, because you just never know. So let's dive deep into the tangled history, astonishing minting anomalies, and unbelievable circumstances that caused this unassuming 25-cent piece to skyrocket in worth and become one of the most talked about and sought after coins in American history. For starters, the 1997 D-quarter was produced at the Denver Mint in what was expected to be an ordinary production year, but several batches of coins were struck under faulty conditions, and though most errors were caught and discarded, a handful mysteriously slipped through quality control and entered circulation. Some of these error coins were eventually discovered by sharp-eyed collectors, sparking a frenzy among numismatists eager to uncover more. One of the most notable errors that makes this specific 1997 D-quarter so valuable is a rare off-center strike combined with a double-die obverse, which results in an eerie doubling of George Washington's profile and inscriptions on the front of the coin. But the uniqueness doesn't end there. This particular coin also exhibits an elusive clash die error, where the obverse and reverse die struck each other without a planchette in between, causing ghostly impressions of the reverse design to appear behind Washington's head. And to make matters even rarer, the edge of this coin shows a dramatic collar clash, giving it a distinctive, almost ridged appearance that stands out even to the untrained eye. Adding to its mystique, the coin is struck on a transitional planchette meant for a different year, which in itself is an anomaly since such planchets were believed to have been exhausted before 1997, indicating that this coin may have been minted during a brief transitional period using leftover materials from previous years, or possibly from a rogue planchette that was accidentally fed into the minting press. Further complicating the story is the presence of micro-errors, such as minute die cracks running through the word Liberty and the date 1997, as well as a faint but clear repunched mint mark, RPM, on the D, which reveals that the mint mark was punched more than once in slightly different positions, creating a shadow effect that makes collectors go wild. And perhaps one of the most puzzling features of all is a barely legible but undoubtedly real reverse text doubling that seems to blend with a mysterious partial imprint of a foreign coin design, suggesting that this quarter may have been involved in a mule error, an ultra-rare mistake where dies from two different coin types are accidentally paired, a theory that has yet to be fully confirmed but is supported by metallurgical analysis and visual comparison by leading experts. And because only one known example of this exact error combination has been authenticated, its uniqueness drives its astronomical value on the collector market, with multiple high-profile collectors and institutions placing seven-figure bids at auction, trying to outmatch one another for the privilege of owning what some are calling the holy grail of modern quarters. And what makes this story even more captivating is the timeline of its discovery. It was first spotted in the late 2000s by a small-time coin hobbyist in Colorado who initially didn't think much of it, placing it in a jar with other unusual finds until a visiting friend with numismatic knowledge pointed out the off-center strike and advised a professional evaluation. And when it was submitted to a top grading agency, the coin received a near-mint rating of MS67 despite the minting flaws, because these very flaws were unintentional and contributed to its uniqueness, catapulting its interest among elite collectors. The media buzz and auction previews further hyped its rarity, with documentaries, blogs, and coin forums exploding with theories about how such a confluence of minting errors could occur in a single coin. And some believe that this was no accident at all but rather the result of a rogue mint employee experimenting or sabotaging the minting process to create a future collectible, a claim that remains unproven but adds fuel to the lore surrounding the coin. Meanwhile, its journey from obscurity to celebrity status sparked a wave of renewed interest in the 1997 D series, causing collectors worldwide to scrutinize their collections and piggy banks for similar anomalies. And while a few minor errors were found in other quarters from that year, none matched the perfection of flaws or sheer improbability of the $36 million specimen, which remains the only one known to exist with this precise combination of off-center strike, double die obverse, clash die, collar clash, repunch mint mark, and possible mule characteristics, as well as having been struck on a transitional planchette. And when you think about it, the odds of all these errors aligning in one coin are astronomically low, comparable to winning the lottery multiple times, which is why the 1997 D error quarter has become a symbol not only of rarity but of how human error, historical timing, mechanical malfunction, and sheer chance can collide to create something that defies logic and redefines value. Because although it was never meant to be anything more than a 25-cent coin, it has now achieved mythic status among collectors, museums, and even financial investors who see rare coins as alternative assets. And this coin in particular has shattered records for modern mint-era sales, surpassing many older and even ancient coins in value, and its influence is so widespread that coin grading agencies have updated their guidelines for 1997 D coins dealers have begun offering hefty finder's fees for similar examples, and educational materials are being revised to include this case study as a benchmark for complex error coin classification. And perhaps the most amazing part of all is that there could be another one out there right now, buried in circulation, lying forgotten in an old coin jar, or tucked inside a child's piggy bank, because history has shown that coins with extraordinary value often go unnoticed for decades until one sharp observer recognizes their worth. So the lesson here is that every coin has a story, and some stories are more valuable than others, not just in dollars, but in the way they capture the imagination, rewrite what we know about minting practices, and inspire collectors to never stop looking, never stop learning, and never underestimate the power of a single mistake to become a multi-million-dollar miracle. So thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the legend of the 1997 $quarter coin, where one tiny disc of metal turned into a $36 million masterpiece of numismatic history. And if you enjoyed this journey into coin collecting's most fascinating mysteries, don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more unbelievable stories that might just change the way you look at your spare change forever.